like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
Handa na ba kayo for another Friday Night Jam on Friday Nights with Kuya Louie? Live from Portland, Oregon, here's Portland's Fil-Am Concert King, Kuya Louie.
Good evening, good morning in the Philippines, good morning in Hong Kong, and of course, good evening dito sa America. Another episode of Friday Nights with Kuya Louie. Sorry we're a little bit late, but at least we're able to be here tonight. And thanks again for the understanding of Kuya Yo and Ate Flora of PHLV Radio. And it's really hot still. I'm sure in Vegas it's still hot. In the Philippines, I'm sure it's still super hot. But it's always nice to look forward for a Friday for a weekend because it's always nice to have something to look forward to and not just like be stuck for something like very routine. And then it's also nice to meet with friends, kind of like catch up a little bit and just enjoy the weekend and not to think about job, not to think about work, and just relax because we need it. I mean, our body needs to relax for a little bit, and again, when Monday comes, then you have to focus with our job again. And that's really important for all of us, especially here in the US where time is essential. It's always busy. Everyone's like going to work, doing their own thing. And the weekend is just the only thing, sometimes for holidays, where they can see each other. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I would like to thank the sponsors before I go farther, or else they're going to kick me out. Anyways, we have Beauty Me Skincare, of course, with my wife. Sally's Mania, based in Linwood, Washington. We have Serenity Entertainment. We have we have Eider 10 X LLC. We have Forex Oregon. Dahil kailangan makarating. And of course, please don't forget to download the PHLV Radio app on Google Play and the App Store. And please join us live on Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Fire TV, and of course on the podcast edition of Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, actually, I would also like to greet all the birthday celebrants, those people that are celebrating their anniversaries, mansaries for the younger generations. Happy anniversary and happy birthday po sa inyong lahat. Tonight, I think my English language communication will be tested because I will be interviewing how would I say English speaking guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So please bear with me. I will try to learn more this time. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have our guest all the way from Hong Kong right now. But actually, she just came from the Philippines like a minute ago, maybe an hour ago or so. But she is an international recording artist, songwriter, music arranger, and orchestra conductor, ladies and gentlemen. Parang napapahiya naman ako konti. Because her credentials is just so great. So wag na po natin patagalin. We would like to welcome on our show Kaimira, all the way from Hong Kong. Hi Kaimira, how are you?
Hi Kuya Louie. Thank you so much for having me. Magandang umaga from Hong Kong. And I think what time it is where you are in Las Vegas?
Oh yeah, it's 7:14
It's evening.
p.m. It's 7:14 p.m. Gabi.
Magandang gabi.
Yeah. Kaimira, can you please introduce yourself to our audience, to our viewers?
Yes, sure. So my name is Kaimira. At the moment, I'm in Hong Kong. I'm from Hong Kong, but I just came back from the Philippines, as Kuya Louie said. And just a little while ago, I was in the States. So I feel a little bit like I'm in the sky at the moment. But it's really, really nice to be here with you guys. I don't know how to call myself. I guess Chimera. You guys might be wondering what is Chimera. So actually, the name comes from the mythical legend from Greece, ancient Greece, and Chimera, the animal, actually is part lion, part serpent, and part goat. So here we are.
So as an artist, Camira, I'm sure you're familiar, you're aware that a lot of artists are kind of like making sure that they have a certain name that kind of like have a recall on audience recall or
Yeah.
something like that. Why did you choose that name?
Yes, because I thought it's going to be a little bit difficult to explain exactly what I do because I'm a little bit restless and I do, a few things. So I thought, let's have a name that embodies that. And as I was saying, it's part lion, part snake or serpent, and part goat. And the reason why I chose this is because I've always been fascinated by fantasies and everything myth, legends, and things like that. So when I saw this, I got mesmerized by the name, and so I thought it would be very appropriate because the lion side depicts the roaring
Right.
side of me in a
Brave,
way.
bravery.
Yeah. And it's basically like the orchestra things that I'm involved in, because of the epic sound of the orchestra, the entire orchestra itself, which I just love. And also, everything that is to do with that sound, strings, is more like lion coming forward. And the snake side of me, it's more when I'm singing or playing the violin or piano, something a little bit more in a way vulnerable or sultry or, how you emotional, right? And then I read that goat actually is when you're going inward, when you're reflecting, and it's to do with, the mind. So for me, it's like sometimes when I daydream and I write, my words or lyrics or poems, it's kind of reflecting my mind. So the three together became Chimera. And I just changed the spelling a little bit. So it became Q, Chimera.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm always fascinated by by such artistry, and again by like explaining the meaning of it. A lot of people, probably our listeners or your followers, will definitely like, oh, that's the reason why, and they will love you more because of those things that you just
Oh,
mentioned.
thank you. And thank you for asking me because like when I tried to come up with a spelling for it, I decided to do QY because when I spelled out the entire name, it sounds or looks like the word pyramid. And because I'm fascinated by, ancient everything, ancient stories, history, and everything. So it's a little bit, got an ancient and, period style to it. So instead of going minimal, I'm maximal.
But Camila, you grew up in San Francisco, so you basically grew up in the States. So the culture.
Actually, I grew up, in Hong Kong, and then when I was 6 years old, San Francisco, then LA, and UK. So I feel a little bit like a bit of a melting pot.
Oh, a melting pot, but I think the one thing that I like the most is the accent because I'm always fascinated with the accent of the British accent. And I was like, and my daughter is really good at it, and I was like, can you just give it to me, like just a little.
I love your accent. I should be actually learning, Tagalog and, and speaking Taglish with you at least. Next time, I promise I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with like speaking, of course, English language, but sometimes it's kind of like pressuring me right now. but
Um,
but
no pressure at all.
okay.
Because I should be speaking in Tagalog with you.
Yeah, and that's actually that's one of my questions that kind of like pop up in my mind right now is because there's a lot of cultures, Camila, but how come the Philippines? Why the Philippines?
There are many reasons, and I think it's because starting from you guys, like you're in Vegas now, right? So Filipinos are everywhere in the world. So because of where I grew up, I was born in Hong Kong and then grew up, between Hong Kong, the States, and then studied in the UK and all that. I've had the fortune and opportunities to meet lots of Filipinos, and they became friends. Actually, a lot of my friends are Filipinos, and therefore I end up hearing and become like family with them. And so I hear stories about the Philippines, about their families, their friends. And, obviously you fall in love with your country. One falls in love with your country
Right, right.
because it's the spirit of the Philippines that grab people because you're always smiling, no matter what. And that's why I thought, you know what? I'd like to go to the Philippines. And the more I go, the more I kind of feel, you know what? I feel this is second home for me.
That's great. That's great. And again, I'm so happy. I'm sure my countrymen, Filipinos are happy because they're always excited to know that someone is, learning to love our culture and our country in general. Yeah, they're always gonna be happy, and they're always gonna be embracing that person who showed her or his love to the country. And I'm sure. Yeah. You go
Sorry,
ahead.
your hospitality, your smile, and your welcoming spirit. It's hard not to fall in love with that. So, I have to say, I'm just grateful that you're everywhere in the world and, spread that love, spread that smile, everyone loves it.
Yeah, for sure. But being in the orchestra for so long and then going solo, is there such thing as like big adjustment on that one?
So for me, it has been, in a way, relatively easy, but also difficult in the sense that I was in the orchestra when I was in the UK. And then also in the UK and from the UK, I started the solo career in singing and then, added the violin and piano, which I'd always been doing. But I started my career in singing. And so the orchestra element and the violin and also the piano elements, even if I have always been in it, had come into the career a little bit later because the opportunity came from the singing side and from the R&B and pop side. So now it's kind of like come full circle to come back to a point where, oh, okay, you can actually marry everything, where everything makes sense, So in a way, it's been difficult in the sense that, now you've gone from a classical field to something that is, pop R&B. But, coming full circle, it's simple because it's just like coming home as well.
Right. And that's I think that's a difference nowadays because before, if you're a singer, you're just a singer.
Yeah.
You don't really like. I mean, you have the chance, like the time to like learn something, like play piano, play guitar, or something like that. But most of the artists before just like kind of like concentrate on singing, and except for of course like the rock and roll and the country, they do have their own instruments. But nowadays, I mean, everyone is so talented at an early young age, and
There's so much talent.
yeah,
Yes.
so much talent. Do you have any like person that you look up to? That's why you studied like piano composing or something like that. Do you have someone in your mind that you love the most?
I would say I don't have someone I love the most because I really appreciate so much talent from everywhere. From Alicia Keys, obviously, who I just really adore because of how she plays,
Right.
how she sings, how she emotes, her voice, just everything together. I
Yeah.
also appreciate Taylor Swift, for example, and I love Coldplay. So my musical taste in a way is a little bit eclectic because I also love, the violinist David Garrett, who doesn't sing, but at the same, or maybe he sings, but he's not, or not yet that I know of that has, shown the audience. But the way he plays is just mesmerizing, when you see him play and just even when you close your eyes, he draws you into another world.
Oh
So
yeah.
there are a lot of musicians and singers, songwriters, everybody that I really appreciate. Just a lot of talent in the world these days.
Yeah. How about in the family? Is music on
Um,
family?
Yes, yeah. I've been lucky. My mom was a music teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can imagine, especially being in an Asian family. So, there's a lot of discipline and she was very strict. And I have three sisters and a brother, and all of them played piano and violin. So when I was three, I think, I was able to kind of imitate them because, it's just what I hear every day.
Right,
So
right.
it runs in the family.
Do you sing karaoke too?
Ah, I
Favorite
sing
growing up?
karaoke with my friends when I was in Hong Kong. But I feel like that has been something I haven't done for a very long time.
Okay, before we move forward, I just want to greet all those people that are watching us right now. We have Zazitello, we have Sam Salva is watching. Thank you so much.
Uh,
Mama Sam, hi,
it's
Aloy.
you already.
Yeah, Mercy Up is watching. Hello, Mark Jorswag is watching. Andros and Stena Ramirez is watching. We have Nita Valderosa all the way from Canada. Thank you so much for watching. Kuya Yo is watching. Thank you. Bogshab is watching. I think he's working right now. My wife is watching. Hello. And Marianne all the way from California. Thank you. And Jacob Saturno, is this?
Oh, that's Ladine.
Oh,
Hi,
Ladine. Hi. The wife.
Ladine. Oh, I miss you guys. I just left you guys and now I'm here. Well, I cannot see you, but you can see me. So,
Yeah. Mabuhay.
mabuhay.
So, Camila, from classical music, now you're going into like pop R&B genre. What type of songs do you mostly like to sing? Is it about love, heartbreak, inspiration? What? Filipinos love heartbreak songs. You know that, right?
Yeah, but you know what? It depends on the mood, right? It
Okay,
depends
yeah.
on what hour of the day we're in. I think, you're hardly going to be singing a love song or heartbreak song. I hope not. Anyway, when you wake up in the morning, it's not the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, unbreak your heart.
Yeah.
But I think I like all sorts of stuff because I was trained classically. So, as a soprano before, sometimes I do miss singing, like the Requiem, from before. But at the same time, I also very much enjoy, as I said, Alicia Keys and I love Madonna as well. So it depends on, time of day.
Yeah.
When I'm on holiday, I love singing Holiday, by Madonna. It depends. It really depends on the mood. And when I'm in New York, Empire State of Mind, it just depends on where you are. Yeah.
Oh, that song is from Alicia Keys, right? Your first state of mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful songs.
It's just inspirations everywhere. And sometimes when I walk down the street, like it's raining in Hong Kong right now. Yeah. And so what comes to mind is, singing in the rain. So I think my mind kind of goes everywhere depending on, what takes me.
I like that. I think whoever's watching right now for sure will learn something from Chimera. Looks like Chimera is like a positive soul, like just
Crazy soul.
not crazy, but just whatever is available right now. Like for example, what's the weather? Then you can relate to that one and kind of like change your mood the way compared to like people that are having a hard time, a difficult time to like changing their bad moods to like the better mood that they have every day, and that's why they are stressed and have a lot of issues because of how would I say that flexible, not really,
Like,
yeah, kind of like easy to adapt. You're
yeah.
adapting.
Well, just like Filipinos, I would say you adapt and, because you're always happy. And I
Mhm.
think, it's something that you have from within your heart.
Mhm.
And like you say, what we're all product of our environment. It's hard to change that, It's hard, for example, to not be affected. I mean, well, I woke up this morning and, the sky is very dark out here at the moment in Hong Kong. And, because when I was in Manila and it was actually very sunny for a period of time. When I woke up, I was like, oh my goodness, the sun is out, So it's automatic that you feel, it's a little bit dark today. But at the same time, there is beauty in rain. There's beauty in everything. So I think it's a matter of just changing your reaction to how you see things, matter of perspective. And kind of, make yourself happy even when it's like rainy weather and, things like that. Doesn't matter.
That's really true. I mean, we always have a choice, free will to what kind of mood we need to do today. Like
Things
what
that you cannot control. Yeah.
Yeah. With the song that you have right now, it's Our Planet. What is it about?
Our Planet is actually a song that I feel very close to and also very proud of. It's not my song. It's Kuya Venice Eternal song. But it was written for two ladies that were the winners of the kids and teens categories of the One Gaia Singing Souls contest. And that's from my foundation, the One Gaia Foundation. It was a song written for them, and they're in the Philippines right now. So Misha and Aaliyah, if you're watching, hello. And these are the ladies that are on the video. And I had the honor to do the orchestration for Our Planet last year in December at the ABS-CBN. That was quite an experience.
Is it a good experience or a bad experience?
Oh, amazing, I have to say. If you ask me from a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 20.
That's over the top. That's over the top. Okay. If you would like to share it to our audience, ladies and gentlemen, let's all watch Our Planet.
This is our home, it's our haven, it's everyone's retreat, our refuge and harbor, it's where we want to be. All people gathered together, yes, every you and me. There is so much more to see. There may be trials that we face from day to day. We may be struggling to survive or come what may. But every morning as we begin another journey, rising with the sun, we feel that hope is all around. It's another day. We will always find a way. The heavy burden will lighten by lending a good hand. Our love will heal this land. This is our planet. Remember, there's not another day.
Very nice, very nice, so inspirational, and it's like kind of like I feel like it's kind of like the song. What song is that? We Are the World.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Kuya, because this song came from because why we were at the ABS-CBN is because we were shooting a docu-film called Epic Euphony, and it's about the world. It's about our planet.
Right.
And so all the songs or all the pieces of music were inspired by planet Earth in some ways, you know. And I was very blessed because it's a project by One Gaia Foundation, which means One Earth.
One Earth.
And so it's you know, just a little hope and dream for the world to come together.
We need that.
And together, yeah. And for that event, we had obviously Misha and Aaliyah, who came as, you know, winners from the One Gaia Singing Souls. The foundation is actually for children in need all over. So say, for example, in Philippines, where I just came from, we have been working a lot there. Hong Kong, Brazil, Jamaica, later India, and, you know, so it really is children in need from different corners of the world. For that event, we had Duende Primero from Brazil coming all the way out here. And also he represented Furia Consciencia, another rap group that I really admire in Brazil. So it really is different places coming together. Yeah, and what you saw just now, our planet, is exactly about our Earth. And we also had the pleasure and honor to be working with 60 players from members of the Philippine Philharmonic and Manila Philharmonic Orchestras. That's why I said that was an experience that's like 20 out of 10, you know?
Yeah. But Kimira, let's face it, you're already successful. You have, you know.
I'm trying my best.
It's in UK. I mean, you're famous in Brazil, you know, Hong Kong. Why the move of, you know, like learning Filipino songs for the Filipinos?
I think, you know, it's not just like one country. As I said, I really love the Filipino spirit. Why One Gaia, the foundation, goes into the Philippines came from because I knew a lot of friends who are Filipinos, and I learned about their families and their stories, their villages, their communities. And so it was a natural progression to go into the Philippines to do more. And I never set out thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to start a foundation today. It never worked like that. It was just a matter of, oh, you know, what happened to your family? What happened to your cousins? Or, you know, what happened in, say, Bohol? And there was a Typhoon Odette. And, you know, in all the schools I heard, children couldn't go back to school. They were stranded. They went barefoot. I mean, you know, all sorts of stories. So we thought, you know what, let's try and help little by little. It's just spread from family to community. Yeah, baby steps, right? And then now, after 2 years, this was in 2019. And the pandemic happened, so I couldn't travel anywhere. So Philippines became a country that became very, very dear to my heart because of these children from Bohol to Cebu. I was working with Everlasting Hope, a center that basically help children who have cancer. And then Isabella, and, you know, so slowly, you know, like you say, baby steps, bit by bit, you know, the Philippines became a home in a way for One Gaia. But One Gaia went to Brazil as well. And that's also, you know, due to One Gaia's work, you know, from last year. And UK at the moment, well, because that's where I was, and also LA. So it was more from the entertainment perspective. And I thought it's a great marriage between the two because, say, Philippines, you guys are so talented in terms of actually so much, but especially singing. You have so much singing talent, you know, everybody can sing. I'm sure, you know, you're a singer too. I'm sure, you know, and not just in the shower, I'm sure, you know, so everyone can sing. So that's why we were like, so many children in the provinces were not able to really display their talents
Right.
just because actually the majority of the world are not fortunate enough to have the opportunities. So why not, just share in a way the platform that I feel I've been very fortunate to have in music and, anything to do with arts, sports, and kind of tie everything together. So in a way now I feel like wherever Chimera goes, that's where One Gaia is as well. Just hopefully little by little.
Yeah. Oh my God. God bless you more.
Thank you.
I mean,
Salamat.
you seldom meet people who have that kind of like vision for the world, not just like for a specific country, but for the people all over the world. And I really admire you for that. And I'm sure whoever is like watching right now, and I'm sure whoever, like following you in Jamaica, in Brazil, in the Philippines, in the UK, will be, will try their very best to support whatever your vision is, because it will really help the world. And you seldom see artists doing that. Athletes, most of them, I kind of like have an idea with them, but with artists, seldom. So thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it.
You're walang anuman. You're most welcome, because I actually feel like I'd like to say thank you to all these children everywhere, because as I said, the majority of the world needs help. The minority has opportunities, like whether you're able to go to the Olympics, or make it on a bigger platform, that all depends a big chunk. It's because of the background that you've been born into, but yet that's not in your control. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the talent.
Yes, yes.
So I think for those of us who have the opportunity to have been on the bigger stage, it's got the responsibility to be there for those, like especially the children, who are so talented. And we saw that in season 1 of One Gaia Singing Souls last year. The amount of talent, even as young as 4 years old,
right.
The world should see. But you know what? In Brazil, they have so much talent in rap, and also singing. I mean, many things. Right. But these are the children that can actually work together to show the world that as there is more understanding, passion is passion, right? It doesn't matter, if you like Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever, the other kid likes that, you share the same passion,
Jolly
Jolly bee, exactly, right? Doesn't matter. You can talk up a storm even with that Jolly Bee stomach,
Yeah.
Like, hey, what did you have for lunch? Jolly Bee. Oh, two Jolly Bee. Let's have Jolly Bee together,
I really like the idea. I really like the idea of whatever your vision is, like marrying every country, like working together with music and collaborating, and I think it's a really really great thing to do, especially nowadays when we are like divided by whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
It's very sad. Camila, let's go back to your family. Your parents are still living in California?
Actually, my parents are living in the sky, in heaven at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
But, they live with me in my heart. And I wish in a way that they're still with me. But that's life. But I feel like they have never left because we are very close. And that's the reason why I came back to Hong Kong when my mom got sick. And I thought, I would not regret anything. It doesn't matter how work goes, how you've got a lot of opportunities and everything. Family is family. And that's why my mom, my dad, they're not with us, but they're in here. So I'm very grateful to them as well.
Yeah. You were raised, your parents raised you really good. Like, to be, I can tell, by the way you're like talking to me right now, you're such a great person. And, being in the music industry and being the person that you are is really a great thing. And I'm so thankful to Kuya Sam that I was able to meet you today and talk to you, because
I'm thankful. Thank you for having me.
How about your siblings?
My siblings are all over the place. My eldest sister is in London. She was a
Okay.
pianist. She is the pianist, an amazing piano teacher.
Oh,
Unfortunately, my second sister, who was in San Francisco, she is also with my parents right now. So she lives here. And then my other siblings, my other sister and my brother are in Hong Kong.
and you're gonna visit them today, later.
Yeah, I can actually see that. You know what? I've been on the road for so long. I haven't really set foot on the ground. So I'm sure, they are also wondering, well, we have no idea where you've been. Like, sometimes, when you're in say the provinces in the
Yeah.
Philippines, the Wi-Fi, can be a little bit challenging.
Right.
Or the favelas in Brazil, where I work sometimes, the Wi-Fi sometimes is also not very good. In fact, when you're on a plane, the Wi-Fi is supposed to be there, they say, but
Yeah.
sometimes it also doesn't work. But that's the rhythm of life these days. It's crazy. You're
Yeah.
supposed to just switch off, and not be connected. But we expect,
So that's the reason why when I go back to the Philippines, I just stayed in our island where
Yeah.
I grow up, because I can just shut off my phone. I don't need to have, like, I can look at my laptop or something like that. I just wanted to focus my time with my family as much as possible. But
Yeah.
with my friends too, friends
Yeah.
that you grew up with, and it's always amazing.
Yeah, it's actually very important to have off time, no screen time.
Yeah.
Because the more we are connected with the world is the less we are connected with people around us, people that, not to say the world doesn't matter, but, I'm sure all of us have been through times where we just scroll through Instagram or YouTube or, Facebook, right? And we look at other people's stories, but we're not creating our own stories with the people that are with us.
Yeah.
We should do more of that,
Right.
write our own story.
Let's do it. Yeah. By the way, the song "Maraming Salamat," is that song composed by Kuya Benny sa turno to?
No, so it's coming out on Kuya Vene's the Vene Saturno Music's platform.
Okay.
But I wrote this song when I was in Hong Kong, being inspired by the children from the Philippines. That's why I wrote it in the chorus is in Tagalog.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. You wrote that in English, or you wrote it in Filipino language already, or someone translated it to you?
Oh,
Both?
so I wrote everything in English first, including the chorus.
Right.
But because I really would love to dedicate this song to the children in the Philippines, especially those that I've had the pleasure to work with.
Right.
So I thought, I would love to make the chorus in Tagalog. So what I did was, thanks to the internet, I actually went online and, tried to
Babblefish?
yeah, to work out, okay, what do I do now? Let's get some help online.
Right.
And then I got the what I had, so I wrote down everything, and then I took it to two good friends of mine here in Hong Kong, Leslie and Rebecca over here in Hong Kong. If you guys are watching, thank you. Maraming salamat. And they helped me, to basically make the chorus. It's like, okay, maybe here you can change one word here, there, this is how we speak. And so it took shape that way. So yeah, it's I'm very, very grateful that now there's this song where I can properly say thank you to not just the children in the Philippines, but everybody, that are there, that put up a smile no matter what happens in life.
Yeah, that's really true. I have a question though. What's your process when writing music? I mean, when you compose a song, do you have a specific process?
That depends on, again, what we
Your
were
mood.
talking about.
Your mood.
Yes. So, and also it depends on who I come across that day. I think music is very much, for me anyway, music is something that, because I write from my own experience.
Right.
It tends to be experience that I go through, whether it's recent experience, past experience. I seldom write about other people's experience because I feel that if it's your own, you feel it so much more. But of course, you're going to be inspired by other people that, you see, of course, like Maraming Salamat. It was, from the children in the Philippines. But when I write, normally I get on the piano and I just play, like there's no tomorrow, like no one is watching. And it doesn't matter. I just, play in the dark or whatever, just not in the shower. And then I just have this melody where I feel, okay, you know what? I'd like to work with that. And sometimes the violin helps depending on what kind of song it is. If it's a heartbreak song, the violin adds a little touch to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Hurtful.
exactly. But if I'm angry, that's why I say it depends on who I come across that day. If I'm angry and I feel there is some sort of injustice that's done maybe to me or something, then I would turn on the amp of the electric violin. And then, yes, and then that takes a different tone, obviously, but more of a rock feel or something. And
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, it depends on the frequencies of your instrument, and then the lyrics come. It just comes, it depends on how you want to express something. And I've been told by a very good friend of mine, whom I've been working with for God knows how many years. His name is Ferdy. And he said, Leslie, you've got a very funny way of expressing things. Like an interesting turn of words.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? I do? I didn't realize how certain things, maybe other people don't express it that way. Like I remember a song I said, and I was a bit angry at the time, a bit heartbroken at the time. And the song is called Time Heals. And I started talking about, you are like, basically you're like Sahara in Australia in December, and an igloo, right? And then actually I said, you're Sahara in December and an igloo in the summer months of the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm sure people would be like, what are you talking about? But obviously for me, it's because you give me the chills. So you're in an igloo, and that's just how I kind of denote you're hot and cold,
Yeah. That's what kind of like what I'm thinking. I was like, I would like to connect the lyrics you're saying, but I can totally relate to that because I also write my own songs and I write.
Wow, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, of course, I'm just a beginner, but I would like to ask you other questions. Do you think, if someone like a talent is planning to be a songwriter, does he need to like really go to school or like enroll or like do some schooling or studies to do that, or just kind of like believe in yourself that you can do something?
You know what? That's a really good question because that's why hats off to a lot of singers, songwriters out there. Because to write your own song can be very simple, but also can be very complicated. Because it depends on how you write, what you write. If you are a lyricist, which means you focus on words, or if you are more musically driven, so you're more melody driven. And we don't need, in a way, schooling when it comes to it's inborn. It's your talent when you have melodies in your head and you have, especially if you have catchy melodies, that's very rare. So that you just need to get a recorder and record even just yourself singing, right? The melody. Right. And if you are a lyricist, you write your words, whatever happens, you see the flower, the grass, the rain, just keep writing, right? And an igloo, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, if you want to write with, say, for an orchestra or instruments, that's where the theory comes in and it can be a little bit more tricky. And if you want to go that way, then maybe some online courses would help. And of course, if you go to a school, then that would also help you. Those who are in the orchestra have all gone through, the academy or, school somewhere to actually teach them to read music and all that. So it depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Camila. Now, for those who are listening right now, make sure that you follow that. Believe in yourself, but still,
Belief is very important. Belief.
but still
Yes.
find something that like just guide or guidance to make it to make sure that it's okay. It's good. So I just want to greet my mom. Hello, my cousin Noel Ichanova. Thank you. My nephew JJ Villacorta.
Hello, everyone.
Watching from Suyan, watching from California. Ati Adele, thank you so much for watching. Maricel Izagawa Tahares. Oh, sorry, Escasura Tahares. I'm watching Miss Camila with Misha. We miss you po. Maybe you know that.
Oh, Misha, I think Misha is from
Yes.
our planet.
Yeah.
I miss you too, guys. I'll be back again in no time at the end of the month. So I'll be seeing some of you again. I really look
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to listen to the song Salamat. I think we have a video of that one. We can play it for a little bit before we finish the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat, composed, and are you singing this song too? Or
Yes,
yeah,
I'm singing the song, yes.
Yeah.
And I hope you will like it. And from the bottom of my heart to you guys.
I'm excited.
maraming salamat.
Ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat.
Ever since we first met, one look into your eyes, I knew we belonged in each other's lives. Somehow I feel I know you. Another time in another life. The way you capture my soul and captivate my heart. Maraming salamat sa pagbabantay mo sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagmamahal mo sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagiging ikaw sa akin. Remember when I came to you, you held me still for a moment in time. That moment stood the test of time. We belong together no matter what, as long as I carry a piece of you. And me, I know you will carry me through. How will our story end? It's a fairy tale this time. Maraming salamat sa pagbabantay mo sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagmamahal mo sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagiging ikaw sa akin. Your touch steadies my step. Your gaze lights up my path. Your smile cools my fear and tears. Your breath lifts my wings. Your touch steadies my step. Your gaze lights up my path. Your smile cools my fear and tears. Your breath lifts my wings. Maraming salamat sa pagbabantay mo sa akin. Maraming salamat sa pagmamahal mo sa akin.